Welcome back, and how's everyone doing this evening? Tonight we're going to be taking on Djinn. This was a pretty interesting fight. I kind of thought it was going to end up playing out more like a siege fight due to his size, but he definitely comes off as really reminiscent to old school Black Fatalis. Yeah, right here, by the way, I just ended up having to actually pause the game, and so things didn't quite line up super right, so yeah, it just looked a little messed up. Anyway, continuing. He is weirdly reminiscent of old school Black Fatalis to me. Not necessarily a terribly difficult fight, just each hit that actually manages to land really is punishing, but if you're careful, he's not too terrible. Of course, later on in the fight, he has a one-shot attack, which it looks cool, but if you happen to be out of any sort of stalactites, I guess would be a good word for it, then you're just kind of left out in the open. And I found you could kind of panic dive, and as long as you had full health and panic dive at just the right moment, it's only going to hit you once, and it takes you almost to death. I can't remember if at this point I still have Divine Blessing or not, or a Food Guard buff. I'm sure I do. That may be why I didn't die from it on occasion. But he does eventually end up getting the kill with me against it. However, I don't think this fight's terribly difficult, although it did end up triple carting me the first time around. I still really don't think it's that bad. I think it was just more of me being greedy and getting caught out in one too many attacks, rather than it being particularly difficult. At this point, I'm recording most of the voiceovers for this stuff, having played at least a little bit of the post-game, and he's not even really that much harder. In high rank, he just hits harder, so if you don't have better armor, it's a bit of a harder fight. My only real problem with this is for such a simplistic fight, it takes seemingly forever, and you're forced into this first encounter with an army of NPCs, and I really don't start using the SOS flare until after finishing low rank. But even with a bunch of NPCs that are actually not terrible NPCs around helping, it still just takes so long to finish him off. I wonder if it would be faster with dual blades, since they can kind of spin to win across the spine and bust a bunch of those little spines that are a lot harder to hit from the ground. I'm sure there's some sort of tactic that I'm just completely missing on him, because I've not watched any sort of tactics videos for any of the fights in this game. I've been trying to just figure it out on my own, which has worked out alright so far. But, I don't know, he looks really cool. Like, I really love the aesthetics on him. Just think he's a little bit lackluster, but the giant monster fights tend to be. So, it matches up with expectations. I mean, that was a little cool move that he did while you're mounting him. But other than having some ice breath, just imagine Fatalis and swap out fire with ice. And it's very similar. Now, not Monster Hunter World Fatalis. That thing was a whole other beast. This guy is more like your older generation's Fatalis, where it's a relatively simple fight and wasn't actually one of the hardest fights in the game. Anyway, I think I've said all I really want to say about him, so I'm just going to leave you to watch the rest of the fight in peace. Have a good night, and remember, if I can beat it, so can you.
Ow, ow, ow! Gotta treat that!
bridges to manipulate the air's temperature. okay?
Fur of steel.
Did you see any other ridges like that one? They might be equally susceptible. Any moment. Good, now you can attack its back directly. Hang on, Hunter.